Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hello.
To another episode of the Geek 2.0 podcast. This is a very special edition because it's just the two of us.
Gone back to our roots.
We're going back to our roots, man. Yeah, no guest today. Decided just be us.
Yeah, we'll keep it simple for now.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. So actually, we got a great show with, first of all, we're going to be, wait. It's not a great show. Yeah, strap in, folks.
We'll leave it to them to judge. How about that?
Yeah. So actually, what we're going to get started with is you probably have noticed a lot of new streaming TV services are being mentioned elsewhere in the news. You got HBO Max now, and then the Disney Plus that's coming out soon.
I mean, you got your NBCs, your ABCs. They're all
CBS.
They're all coming out with their own service,
along with your Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all sorts of
and
the basic ones that are still out there.
Yep. And then on top of that, you've also got your what are considered more your live TV on-demand services of your Sling, your YouTube TV, your I think it's pronounced Philo. There's two of them that are spelled very similar. That are both,
is it PH or is it FI?
There's PHILIO or something like that.
Okay.
And then there's another one that's again spelled very similar to it, but I can't think of what the name is. But yeah, there's a lot out there.
Which I mean, and this, if you look back, say like 20 years ago, when cable TV and everyone was like, I only watch 5 channels. I just want to pay for 5 channels.
Makes sense on paper.
We're here now. Guess what, folks? You're getting your wish.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm happy about and I'm excited about, but it was something we were joking about a little bit before is it's also getting to a point, though, where you start paying for this channel.
Yeah.
And this channel, 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 and you're paying more than you were for cable.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah, you got to pay for all the channels, plus you also got to pay for your internet access.
Mm-hmm.
And that's anywhere from $40 to $100 or more just for that alone.
Yep. And then you're also, if you're watching one show and want to watch another, you're now having to close that app, start the other app, log into it, depending on how it goes. For example, Hulu, multiple profiles, or Netflix and multiple profiles. So you have to go into the right profile, then you have to find your show, then you have to find your episode, and then you can start watching.
Well, you can always, you can set it up to, you have a single family shared profile.
You can, and we do have that with like our Netflix.
Yeah, that's I have the same thing with our Netflix, but it's under mine. As basically as it became a catch-all for everything.
I renamed what was mine to a family one, and then created my own one.
Oh, really?
Just because the suggestions were getting a little out of hand.
Oh, you like the My Little Ponies and the...
Well, between my wife who loves horror, myself who loves anime, and then my daughter with the kids shows, Netflix got very confused very quickly. And I couldn't find anything new because of that. It was suggesting things that I just didn't really care about.
And you got to go through all that fluff before you get to what you want to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, profiles, that's a nice thing that with some of these services, like Netflix has it, Hulu has it, right?
Yep.
And... well, not Amazon Prime. Prime is basically just the account holder.
Yeah, Prime, I don't really use, like, the TV service side of it. I don't really use.
Well, you missed out on some good shows, like Good Omens, The Expanse.
See, and while I definitely agree with you, I have no doubt that I'm missing out on good shows. It's too clunky to use.
Yes, I'll have to give you that because the Amazon's UI is kind of... I don't want to come off wrong, but it's archaic. Mm-hmm. It's like stuck back in the 90s.
Well, and there's some things that like you'll flip through and you're like, ooh, that'd be cool to watch. And then it tells you sign into Amazon on your phone or computer to rent. Yeah. And I'm like, then what's the point?
Well, that's because you got to look for, it's like the small little graphic on the corner of the thumbnail.
Prime.
It says Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you have to look out for. But yeah, profiles are actually really good. And the one thing, if you have like a Roku or like Apple TV, you can probably, I know I have an Apple TV, so I have it where Okay. Well, I can have it set up. It doesn't pull stuff from Netflix, unfortunately, but it pulls stuff from Hulu and all the other services like Prime, like what's coming next. It's like in a nice little graph, like you got Handmaid's Tale, you got Good Omens, and then everything else you had previously watched and the upcoming episodes for that particular show. So the avenue for actually making things easier is out there. Unfortunately, that bucket is it's no longer a bucket. It's like a fire hose of services that you have to choose from.
It's definitely it's the I think they've kind of taken what people were asking for, and as funny as this sounds, actually are doing what we've asked for.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But it's not what we wanted.
No, it's not. It's like they've gone halfway.
Yeah. They've taken us too literally instead of going, okay, we hear what you want. Here, we're going to give you this, which does what you want, but better.
Well, the thing that I'm concerned about is my main thing is with HBO that Time Warner and Warner Brothers, they're pretty much putting everything into one bundle with HBO Max. That's including everything from the HBO services which is again a separate service, which like $15 a month or is included for promos or whatnot. But they're going to put that, and then you have a additional tier like, oh, we'll have this show that's going to be on the Max side of things. So if you want to watch this show, well, you have to subscribe to HBO Max for whatever $15 plus, let's say $2 more.
Yeah.
So now you're inching closer to the $20 territory for just one service.
Correct.
Now, I posted up a short article about like the TV services and stuff like a couple months ago, because you got, like you said, Filio, Sling TV. You also got YouTube TV. So if you still want to have like your local, like not on demand, but appointment viewing type of TV.
We've been using YouTube TV, and it's actually quite nice.
Yeah, how is that? Because that's actually, I've been looking at. I'm not going to do it because I can't stand commercials.
Well, so there's two avenues.
That's why I pay for the Hulu Plus. To get rid of. I'm like, no.
That's all right. We do too.
Yeah.
My wife, she's nuts about them, and my daughter's learning quickly. But the live TV, it's live TV. So yes, you have your commercials. But the nice part about it is, one, that has the unlimited DVR.
Okay.
So all you got to do is just add a show to your library, and it records everything that show plays.
That's good.
Which is really cool.
Because you don't have to worry about hardware or anything like that.
Absolutely. And then you have access to it anywhere that you have YouTube. The downside part of it, though, is that there are some shows or movies where commercials are unavoidable. It's nice in the fact that when they do have those unavoidable commercials, it will tell you like one of, and have a little timer next to it.
Right.
So you at least know, okay, I've got 4 commercials I got to sit through. Ooh. This one commercial's 30 seconds.
How do you live with yourself?
Oh yeah, it's horrible. I personally don't care about commercials.
Well, it's same thing with like YouTube, watching regular YouTube. If you don't pay for the YouTube Red or Premiere, whatever it is now, you will get the pre-roll ads, and then on occasion you'll get the inside the video ad that you can't skip through.
Yeah.
Well, the pre-rolls you can on some of them. The majority of them you can, but not all of them.
It's also, YouTube TV is also similar with how they do it with YouTube, in the sense that if you show the time bar on the TV show, you'll have the yellow markers.
Oh, okay.
So you'll know.
Oh, so you see, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, there's, you'll look at one and be like, oh, there's 1. Okay, I can deal with that. Or you'll pull up one and go, oh, there's 10. This is going to be long.
It's a 40-minute show.
But the thing that I like about it, and what I think is interesting, for example, we have a couple of kids' movies that we have recorded through YouTube TV. So when we go to the movies section, and we go to select the movie, we can choose our recording. So there's like video on demand where it's just the movie, or there's one like FXX will show the movie, or Disney will show the movie, or it doesn't matter what channel. Okay. It will record that movie over and over and over and over again because it's in your library.
Right.
But it will allow you that I can look through all the recordings and I can look at the times and I could see that one's 2.5 hours long. That one is 1:45. That one's 1:35. I'll select that one because it's got less commercials,
right?
Less interruptions. Cool. You know what I mean? Or I'll select the video on demand if they have it. So that's a neat feature about it because it doesn't matter who plays it, because we know that some live TV channels will play movies like at night with less commercials,
right?
Or
because there's less demand or less audience that is available, so it's
correct.
So ad spots are cheaper.
So there are differences depending on the time period that the movie is played, but it doesn't matter. It records it all, and if it's a TV recording, there's no built-in commercial interruptions that you can't skip.
Okay.
So if it does get to commercial, you get through the commercial and you keep going. Like it has 15-second jumps.
Because I know TiVo was a big back, let's say like 10 plus years ago.
Easy. Yeah.
And they got in a lot of trouble because a lot of the cable industries were like, you know what? No, we want you to watch the commercials. That's how we get paid.
Yeah.
And TiVo was like, no, people don't want to. Here's a fast forward 30 seconds, 60 second, whatever.
Yep.
So then now it has pretty much come full circle where TiVo is kind of obsolete.
But what they've built is what everyone is using.
Now, also, I take on that is that, like you mentioned before, is what they've given us is not exactly what we wanted as like per channel type thing that we were asking for. Is like, hey, I want to pay for Disney, ESPN, and Discovery, and maybe one other. That's all I watch, and that's all I want to pay for.
Which, if you truly 100% are that way, that's fine.
Yeah, there's avenues out there, but unfortunately, the cheap way there is no cheap way.
No, there's not. And even if you were to take, like, for example, the Disney, which is coming out at $8 a month, roughly,
assumingly,
yeah. You take that, and then you get the HBO, and then you get ESPN, you know, whatever. Depending on the service and how kind of cornholed in you are into their service or their what it is that they show, they know it, and they're making you pay.
Yeah. Either where you don't think that you are, or it's like, oh, I'm just paying $15 a month, or
you see that one bill for the one channel and you're like, oh, that's nothing, and then but what you don't see is all 10 combined in the price. Because
I think we do Netflix, Hulu, we got Prime, HBO, CBS All Access, and I'm thinking that's it. So our a la carte is steadily growing
to the point that cable is starting to look feasible again.
Well, the nice thing about I'll give you that, but with the cable, because you have all dealt with the cable, trying to let's start the service up. Oh, a couple months later or years from now, your service is absolute garbage. I want to get rid of you. Well, how about we offer you this? With the new stuff now, it's like, I don't want to pay for this, cancel, and I'm done.
Yeah.
It's just a push of a button or an uncheck mark, and then you're off on the races. You're good to go.
That is very
valid. Yeah, they made the process easier. It's just that it's not a bucket, it's a fire hose of your services.
It's a convenience, and any convenience you're having to pay for.
That's the big thing, is just convenience. It's like with the Disney Plus, a lot of stuff that was on Netflix from the Disney movies is up to Infinity War.
I think so. Yeah.
So Captain Marvel and Endgame and Spider-Man, when it comes out, is not going to be on Netflix. It's going to be on the Disney Plus service.
Correct.
Pretty much everything Disney related, Marvel, Star Wars, is going to be on Disney Plus. Even Fox? No, not Fox stuff, because I think that's yet another service. is going to be separate on the FX
I think
service.
I believe so. It's getting to a point where it'll be interesting, one, because Disney's new, but Disney is a juggernaut regardless. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the rest of the streaming services.
Well, they have our childhood.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens to them. But what's also interesting is it's pretty common knowledge at this point, but the effect that it's had on the younger generations that have grown up with this. As I was talking about, my daughter is learning quickly the bane of commercials.
Yeah.
And she's literally to the point that as we're watching one of those recorded movies and it gets to a commercial, like a TV commercial that you can fast forward, she'll look at me and go, Daddy, moat, because she'll wait for me to skip for the commercial so it gets back to her movie.
Yeah.
And if I can't skip it, she hates it.
Nobody's got time for that.
I mean, she's 2, so she's got no patience and a temper. It just comes with it, but it's funny.
It's becoming ingrained. I mean, not even my daughter's. She's going to be 9, and she's going to be, and she grew up without commercials. Because that's why we've been on the cord cutting for over a decade now, and it's quite nice. You gotta check it out. Cut that cord.
There are definitely a lot of positive avenues that I think you could lead into that. It will save you money, but it'll save you money if you do it smartly and do your research. That's going to be the key.
Yeah, because a lot of things, because you can fall into, it's the death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
It's
a good way of putting it, actually. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, where you can get kind of carried away. So, I want to watch Westworld when it comes back on, so let me sign up for HBO. Okay, well, want to watch my Marvel movies, then let me sign up for Disney Plus. And then eventually you're ending up about $200 because not these services are not alone. You still have to pay for internet.
Yeah, depending on who you have or what speeds you have, and
it's and where you're at, because a lot of these services are not going to work if you're on DSL or if you're out in the country. It's not. You're not going to have a good time.
Well, it also depends how many devices you need to stream to at the same time, which also can affect. So, for example, we'll take Sling. Sling will tend to. They've gotten better because they've got smart about it. Because a lot of people complained, but in the beginning, they advertised it was $25, and you were done. But what they didn't tell you was that $25 was for one stream to one device, and it was a smaller subset of their channels. So you'll go there for one channel.
They had the bundles.
Like I think they had, and they were smart about this, but they had like Disney Junior, I think, was on their higher tier.
Of course.
Bundled. So in order just to get that one channel, you're already having to pay extra.
Yeah, it was like $45 or $55.
40 or 45.
Okay. It's expensive.
Well, I mean, if you're going in for 25 and now you're paying 40, you're already paying more than you had already budgeted for.
It's like, well, while you're here, why don't you check out some of these others? Yeah, the little promo add-ons.
And then on top of that, another thing Sling gets you with, if you want DVR, you have to pay extra for the DVR. If you want lifestyle channels, it's a la carte TV. They are 100% about that. But what it is people go at that $25 and think the $25 is okay. For $25, I can pick whatever channels I want, and that's it. No, that's for like your base live package, and then if you want extra channels, you're paying on top of that $25.
Exactly. It's because there is a lot of pushback, because there is a small growing subset of people out there that are saying what we're saying. It's like, why? I don't want to pay all this money for certain things. Yes, it's easy to cancel and go month to month. It's like, oh, you want to watch the show, your season? Wait till the season's out. Or if they put it all at one time, go ahead, binge it, and then cancel the service and then move on to whatever. That's one way to work it.
That's a lot of back and forth in management, though.
Well, it depends on how dedicated you are to saving money.
At that point, to me, you would be better off just having Amazon and just buying the series or renting the series.
Well, Amazon, they do offer the a la carte added channels. They say, okay, you have your Amazon Prime, and you can add HBO for, I think, or Cinemax or Showtime for $8 each. So there's that part.
There are definitely, again, it's that
Well,
research.
they're trying to replicate the cable industry, the how everything was built before.
Yeah,
They're trying to make it easier. It's like, hey, come to Prime, add these services or channels that you want, and then go from there. We'll be your cable company and deliver your stuff next day.
That you can do. Cable,
Yeah.
no,
Not cable, yeah,
not yet.
A week in between 8 and whenever. But it's just one of those things that we're having to look at. It's for as a family that has multiple children or single child or even multiple like mom and dad or they're staying in your place. They have the older generation has stuck in their own ways.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember we have family gatherings here, and then grandfather just wants to say, "Where's the game? Put the game on." I don't have cable, so I'm like looking through like, how can I stream the golf game or whatever?
And to me, that's where
Cheaply.
it is nice having those cheap live TV alternatives for such occasions when the family comes over. But yeah, same thing. My mother is not quite there yet. Like we've gotten her onto Netflix, but even then she doesn't use it that often.
Yeah.
So it's like we're slowly getting her there.
Well, I mean, it's a generational thing. It's
Absolutely.
Because I tried to get my own mother to cut the cord. That was a fun experiment. I think, sorry, Mom, but it lasted about, I want to say, not even a year. She went with Sling TV.
Okay.
My aunt that lives with her, she wanted a particular channel which was on one of the upper
tiers.
The upper tiers. I think it was like the second or third one, but wasn't grasping like, okay, I got how it's not. Well, how? What? That was basically the conversation. So, like I said, it's a generational thing where it's just something that we know because we grew up pre-internet and they're in the early days of internet. And today, our kids are growing up pretty much locked in,
all on demands.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I'm curious to see, because I haven't seen any signs, at least I haven't been looking very hard, but I haven't seen any signs as to where it's going. It kind of seems like this is it.
Yeah, it seems like it's plateaued,
which is interesting. So I'll be intrigued to see when like our kids are our age, where things are at
Right.
and where it's going from there.
Well, I think because like I said, it's plateaued because technology can only go so far. I mean, the stuff that's behind Disney Plus and ESPN is like, and HBO is like amazing for keeping a steady stream constantly under a heavy load, but it can increment be better, but where do you go from there? What innovation are you looking at, say, 5 years from now?
Yeah, aside from your a la carte on demand shows, what else is there? The only I can't picture it, and that might be part of the problem. But the only thing that I could think of that might be the sign of where things are going are your streamers. A big thing with the younger generations and the kids that I have seen is they love to watch streamers.
Oh yeah.
Playing games live or unboxing videos or anything like that. And that's again, it's something I can't fully comprehend.
Well, yeah.
Like as far as like entertainment and television goes, like that's,
well, as you know, when your daughter grows up, she's going to be like just watching YouTube.
she's gonna be psycho.
Mine is the same way. That's Roblox videos, Minecraft, whatever. That's all YouTube. It's kind of hard to like sit down and actually watch like a show on Netflix and stuff like that or something because she wants to watch YouTube.
Well, like on
or she we talked about before, she actually wants to do YouTube videos and be a streamer herself because I do streaming, so she sees what I do and wants to emulate that.
Well, and she watches them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But it's even gotten to a point, and it's what was interesting to me was that Disney XD, I think it is, has blocks of television time where it's streamers. Like that is the television show, is the streamers playing games. And I'm like, I get it, but I don't. I don't know. I think it's a sign of my age, maybe.
Yours is old, man.
Yeah, I tell you about it.
Well, yeah, even like right now, the Overwatch League is actually on Disney XD, I believe, plus Twitch and all that.
See, and it's funny,
streaming.
from an esports perspective, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Because there is, especially when you get to your shooters and stuff like that, there is a skill to it.
Right.
Even with the, oh man, I just lost the name of it. What was the one where you play soccer, but you're driving cars?
Oh, Rocket League.
Thank you. Rocket League. That there is skill to that. Like it is a game. It is fun. And you know, anyone, any age can jump in and play, but to be good, you have
There's a whole nother level.
Yeah. All games to a degree can be like that. So I get the esports thing. I get advertising it because you have a large...
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry now.
Yeah, and you've got a large fan base. All the gamers out there that play and like those games. It's fun to watch the people that have kind of dedicated themselves and are really good at it play. So I get that. What I don't get is like me or you, your average Joe, streaming...
Coincidence.
Call out. Streaming and having a fan base on it. Like if you are skilled at the game, I get it. But there's so many people that are just your average players that do it for the likes. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. That's the part I don't get. And there's people that watch them.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just not gaming. Yeah, because let's go on with the YouTube. Let's move it over to like Twitch and here a Mixer. It's just not gaming anymore. There's music channels where people are playing music and they're doing what do you want me to play? Okay, no, playing on guitar or drum set and stuff like that.
See, and it's funny.
And art. There's a whole bunch of creative. They're painting. They're digital graphics, even coding. They're doing all that.
And see, and it's funny to me, again, that's a skill. You know what I mean? Like that I get. It makes sense and it's entertaining to watch. You know what I mean? Because some people, like with art, can create some amazing things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really fascinating to watch it all come together. So like I can understand that, or crafting or coding. Coding's a little harder because that can be draw for a lot of people.
It's also it's a dedicated fan base. It's not the average Joe going in looking at what's the lines of what is this? What am I watching? And they're excited. I was like, oh, I got this one to work.
That semicolon doesn't work as a sentence there.
And you're just sitting there scratching your head like, what?
It's funny. Like I get those. I don't know. There's so many people streaming the same thing.
Right.
And I get that everyone, like I said, you know, it's trying to get those clicks, those likes, the 15 minutes of fame that you don't know until you try. You could say the same thing about TV and acting in Hollywood. Think of how many people move out to Hollywood thinking they're going to be big.
LA is filled with people that carry around headshots and when they're working their
waiting tables.
And they're like got their manuscript right there in the back. It's like, oh, hold on, Quentin Tarantino, I'll be right back for a great idea.
God, couldn't imagine. So I mean, I get it. And then you got the same thing, kind of similar to people like us, that just put themselves out there, and it either does something or it doesn't. So like,
well, if you look at like podcasts, it's the same way. Mm-hmm. It's an audio version of YouTube.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's a whole bunch. Podcasts are sink or swim, or just go along and either go through years of gaining popularity very slowly, and then sometimes they get their big break, like with any kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just how people have changed over the years. How they get to entertainment.
I agree with that. So it's just kind of a wait and see, and let's See what happens. It'll be interesting.
So like, subscribe, hit that bell, hit the follow. Let's go ahead and move into the main topic of today, which is actually going to be back to school tech, like the title says. Since when this episode, if you're not watching live, this episode is going to come out second Monday of this month. So in 2 weeks. It's going to be about back to school time for a lot of people throughout the whole country. And the main thing that people are actually worried about is the cost of technology.
It's definitely becoming more ingrained.
Because when you get that sheet of paper like supplies needed, you got your pencils, your toilet paper, Kleenexes, iPad, laptop.
Wait. Yeah. Toilet paper?
Yeah, sometimes there's some put on toilet paper.
What? What?
Yeah. Just wait.
God. Oh my! I don't. What?
I know it's strange.
So that brings me to my question, because of the fact that I've got a 2-year-old, so I'm not quite there for back to school, and anything that is even close to what would be considered a school, all you need are clothes, diapers, maybe, depending on the child's where they're at. So for having a school-aged child, what is the tech that you have not only had to get or have seen with the other kids, or toilet paper? That's gonna all day today. That's gonna bug me.
That's bug your mind.
Oh my god!
Because it's all his mind is.
Yeah,
toilet paper. What? But no, it's one of the things. It's not. We're not there just yet. But one of the things that I saw from past year and then this year is the headphones, because a lot of times when we were in school, we had those crappy blue with a wireframe headphones that just squeeze your head to whatever. It's like a vice on your head. But now they're wanting you to your kid to bring in their own headphones.
Interesting.
Because I can see it as a personal choice, because with like lice or because that stuff is going to get broken no matter what, because kids, no matter what school age, elementary on through rough. High school, are so rough with their tech.
Yeah.
And looking at high school, because I've seen some of the horror stories, the pictures of the not IT, but IT in some schools, they get a Chromebook that has been dropped from 30,000 feet. I mean, it's like, how has this survived?
It's only the first day of school.
Exactly. And it's just some of the things, it's like, okay, because there was a big thing a couple years ago in Los Angeles County, or some county in California, has struck up a deal with Apple to get iPads into, like, it's a 1-to-1 ratio to all kids in all the classes of a particular district. And that was it. I think Apple said, okay, no, because there's a lot of lawsuits going on, because a lot of parents like, what? No.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like, okay, where do you draw the line? Is it, you got iPads? Okay, well, this is fine, because a lot of stuff, kids aren't bringing home like books of binders of paper and homework. A lot of this stuff is being emailed or sent out, or even flash drives. But I haven't seen any flash drives, thankfully, because I'm not going to put them in my system. I have no idea where those things have been. So
yeah,
I'll put it into a Chromebook, because it's not going to do anything. But
even then, I don't know.
Oh, it's a Chromebook. I mean, it's if it's a .exe file, it's not going to do much. It's going to sit there and just look stupid. It's like, what? Where am I?
It's another thing that's intriguing with the iPad aspect of it is a lot of doctors say to, even with the older kids that would be to that point in a school where they would require iPads, should be limited on their screen time.
I've heard that a lot. The screen time debate is constant. Is that, okay, yeah, you should limit, or you should not do it, or it's okay. I've heard all.
I agree, but it's interesting sides to me that that there's not, you don't hear more of the medical speaking up. You know what I mean, with these things.
I don't think we've gotten to the point where the iPad is what, not even 8 years old that we've been having the iPads. It was the iPhone was in 2007, so iPad was a couple years after that. So we're maybe 7-8 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like it's been around a lot longer.
I could, my numbers could be off, but yeah. If you know, let's recommend us. Like, no, it's exactly released on this particular date at this particular time. But one of the things, I don't think we've had enough time as a society or as a populace to learn exactly what could be. It could be detrimental. The effects are. A lot of that stuff is going to take a generation.
You have to actually see it over time. Exactly.
And that's the thing is like where schools, we used to have like the projector, not the projector, but the, I'm blanking on the name, the larger thingy.
Oh.
Where it has like the clear plastic and the teacher wrote on.
Wow. I
know. It's right there too.
I wanted to say projector too. And now you got that stuck in my head.
But anyways, that thing, it's now becoming either it's an actual projector mounted on the ceiling with some version of Windows that is active touch. That it senses where you are. There's also magic whiteboards. I believe that's the name of it, where it's an all touch base. Mm-hmm. So there's no more like chalk dust because. Well, yeah, the dry erase markers.
I've seen that, and the few teachers that I do know that there's not only the few teachers that I know, but some of the kids that I know that have started going to like the preschool and like the daycares that are in a school kind of thing, and they have the smart whiteboards,
right,
and stuff like that, and that you could draw on. And my 2-year-old's already gotten a hold of a few of those. So I mean, I can see that aspect of it. Replacing the chalkboards with digital. I can kind of get that. I can understand e-readers. Mm-hmm. Your Kindles and stuff like that to replace your school books, because then you could have one device instead of a backpack or a locker full. So I can get that. I can understand that. But what else is that you have seen that is required? Like what?
So far as what's required, as pretty much it. I'm trying to remember back last year during school year. It's been a blur.
I bet.
And then going into 4th grade. But it's just one of those things where looking at it is, I think they did have to have a thumb drive, at least 6 or 8 gig. I want to say, I want to say that was part of, it wasn't a required. It was just like, well, we're doing this one particular project, and it'll be helpful if your kid was brought in.
Thumb drive. Interesting.
But the thing is that a lot of like report cards, you're not getting the actual physical cards anymore.
Which, knowing what we did with them back in the day, I get. It's awesome. It's the way it should be.
Well, have you seen the movie Hackers?
Hack the planet.
Change your grades.
If the kid's smart enough to be doing that, I'm not too worried about it.
I'd be like, okay, that's awesome that you're doing it, but let's redirect that to another avenue. That's not going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do it, try and do it more carefully so you not get caught. But yeah, it's a lot of the back to school stuff is toilet paper included.
Oh my God.
This pertains what I've seen mostly to middle school and then also into high school as well is a lot of high schools are giving out Chromebooks to their kids. It's like it's a 1-to-1 ratio, which I can see. Yeah, Chromebooks are a lot less expensive than an iPad, and they're a lot easier to deal with into integrating into a school's infrastructure, like the Wi-Fi, the whole network, and all that. And they can lock it down a lot better, and they'll have more control of what they can do on it while they're there, and they can still go home with it and then have free reign, because you're not it's not being the
You're
worry
not
of
on
it
a controlled
downloading
network environment.
Yeah.
What would they? You may or may not know this, but what would they use the laptops for in school?
Classwork is okay. We have this particular test. Okay, go ahead, start typing away on filling out your test on the Chromebook. And then the teacher can go in and easily, probably, I haven't seen this, but go through and automatically say, okay, run the algorithm for right and wrong answers, and it's 5 minutes and he's done, instead of sitting there for hours grading papers.
Yeah,
So that kind of saves.
I could see it for like Scantron type esque.
Yeah, well, Scantron's been around for decades.
Yeah, but that's an easy replacement, because then you're marking A, B, or C. That's an easy algorithm of, if this isn't selected, it's wrong. You know, like that I get. But more of your like essays or written.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all.
I wouldn't think they would be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of classes are doing it. And Apple, I think it was 2018 or 2017, they released a new version of the iPad, and they did a keynote in a school, and they had a lot of like cool stuff for like schools, like apps and stuff like that are for schools, like profiles for your iPad. Because currently you can't have multiple profiles on your iPad. You can, there is a way, but you have to disengage your profile, wait 6 months or so to then get it back once you go on to another profile. It's hard.
It's because it's Apple.
It is. It's one of the simple things. It's like, multiple profiles. That's an easy thing, and a lot of other companies have done that. Chromebook, you can sign in with your Gmail account. Oh, you mess it up? Well, easy. Just go power wash it and start over within 5 minutes.
Power wash it? They make it waterproof and they can stand that kind of pressure?
No, not that kind of pressure. It's basically you just wipe it all out.
That's a whole new level of technology.
Welcome to the 21st century, Joe. The future is now. But yeah, it's a lot of it is a large. It's like a glacier. you laugh, but it is. A lot of like tech companies, or not tech companies, but companies, corporations are glacially slow. Schools are even more so when trying to implement technology.
And to a degree, I can foresee why, because it opens up so much more. It's interesting to me that they don't want you to have cell phones.
I think a lot of them don't care about now.
Laptop.
Yeah. Well, that's because they can control the laptop or the iPad. So the iPhones and Android devices, no, they can't.
I mean, you can.
Well, you restrict their Wi-Fi access or have no.
Or you can install an app on there that allows you to control the phone.
Or on your network, you have MAC addressable.
Yeah, that's doable, but that would be hard.
Yeah, you're going through each device, putting in scan. Okay, that MAC address. Okay, we're good to go. No. And of course, when it gets damaged, you got to take it out, then put in a new. So I see a lot of, because you used to have like the one or two teachers at a school that were tech literate, that were pretty much the go-to people to say, oh, my printer's not working, or the projector's not working. Well, I'll fix that, Mrs. Johnston. And then now you have a dedicated team that is taking care of this infrastructure of now the internet network, the intranet, and all that sorts of stuff.
Sorry, I've been thrown off this whole episode ever since you said toilet paper, because I still can't get past that.
I did the same thing as you. I looked at it.
Oh.
I read the list. I read the list again and again.
It feels like a celebrity's writer. You know, where they list their things that need to be in their green room. Like it feels
green
like
M&Ms.
Yeah, just because they want to make sure that you're actually. That's what it feels like to me.
A lot. Okay, I'm not going to get political here, but in the state of Florida, because since the institution of the state lottery, what they did with the educational budget, and then when the lottery came in, is that okay? Here's your lottery money, so we'll lower the education budget. That took instead of budget here and then more. No, it's just
they kept it at the same level. Just now it comes from a different place.
Yeah. So now we teachers are like the best people out there.
It's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. I mean, hey, this is actually good. I just brain fart.
Okay.
Excuse me. We're going to actually see if we can take it in. But see if we can find like a teacher and what their side of this ongoing issue is.
I may know a few.
Okay. And we'll have to come back to this discussion in another episode. I mean, it's actually pretty interesting to see how the teachers react to it, like phones, depending on what grade level they are. Mm-hmm. I know my daughter's friend has. I know there's some elementary kids that have phones. Yeah, and there goes another.
It's not as bad as toilet paper.
Yeah. But yeah, they do have phones. I can see it. We talked about in prior episodes, like the safety reason, because if they're latchkey kids, they're coming home by themselves. At least they have some kind of form of communication with the parents.
Understandable.
Yeah.
There's other ways, but understandable.
Yeah, or there's its parents that okay, yeah, here's a iPhone XR. Have fun, Johnny.
Oh, that hurts.
Here's a $1,300 device. Have fun. I'm giving it to a 6-year-old. Yeah, because they're gonna take care of that thing.
Anyways,
but yeah, I want to see how, like, from a teacher standpoint, from their perspective, how they go about things, how they deal with this constant change of technology within the classroom, and having to, I know with the kids is one thing, but having to deal with the parents is a completely different one. How they would have to deal with the parents and saying, well, so-and-so broke this laptop. Again, that is all depending on how the circumstances of them getting a laptop, and that they sign like, I have to take care of this because
release waivers.
Yeah, my parents will have to pay for a replacement.
Yeah.
Or I would have to pay for it. Like, yeah, one of these days. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it's interesting to look at the constant change of just our education system. And it's just the back to school tech is, you don't think like pencil, toilet paper, Kleenexes and stuff like that.
I'd be, I'll reach out to a couple of the teachers that I'm friends with that I know, but I would love to see if there's something that we're not thinking of. Please leave a comment and tell us, because I want to know what else I need to hit my head over, because it just does not make sense.
Because we already got the toilet paper covered.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's one of those things that let us know either through YouTube,
any of our avenues.
Yeah, we
email, websites, Facebooks, you name it.
Yeah, I was kind of blanking there. I'm like, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, thank you, Joe.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll want to come back to this again. Definitely. There's a couple episodes that we actually want to come back to, like different subjects that we just have to get off our duffs and do it.
It's so much work.
I know, running a podcast and a network, and it's hiring a producer, TD. We also need writers,
a grip,
best boy. Go down the list of credits. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode before it went off the rails at the end here, as it usually does. Yeah, check us out on Twitter. It's at Geek 2.0, Geek 20 podcast on Twitter. And YouTube is the same way. Actually, YouTube is at the Collective Network. Sorry.
Or just reach out on Facebook and it'll have all the other links. Yeah. Or our website would probably be the best bet.
Yeah, or thecollectivenetwork.com or thecollective.networks. I'm just going to end the episode. All right. Bye. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.